Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another first Descendant video. So wanted to talk about the Descendant mission board that they've added recently with the latest update. As you know, they have removed the invasion dungeons from the map. We still have two zones that are red every day and you have the 400% missions for two of the dungeons, but we don't have to do the invasion dungeons. And what they have done is they have made this Descendant mission board. So if you see on the screen at the bottom, press K and you'll be able to go into the daily Descendant mission board. You can also go through BB on and you press this one here and you'll go over here. Now what they've done is they've rearranged some of the pre-action missions, let's say, into a playlist. So what you have is 2 Sigma Sector, 4 infiltrations and 1 void vessel. So the infiltrations, we were already doing them, but now as part of the daily thing, you get the gold that you used to get from the invasions, from the infiltrations, and you also get Arche factor XP and things like that. So you just run the daily 2 invasions and you'll get your gold as well as a bunch of other useful things. Now this is better than the invasion simply because it's much faster. You can do it solo, you can do it public, and I've noticed a lot more people are doing it in public. Plus it doesn't take very long, and also you get a lot of useful resources. You get a lot of extra guns, you get a lot of reactors that you can dismantle, so you're not lacking in resources. And so running this is pretty good. Also, you can just run one of them 4 times instead of having to do 2 of each. You can just run, let's say, the Haven 4 times and you'll be done. Void Vessel, if you do the Void Vessel, any of these, normal, hard, of either of them, I tend to do this one, the Assumed Bridge Zone, and I do it on hard, and I get the crystallization catalyst every day, so at least you're getting 1 a day. And also you'll get the blue brains and things like that from the void vessel, so that you have materials for your crystallization catalyst. If you want, you can also do it this one here, but I find this one easier with Bunny. But yeah, the other one isn't particularly difficult. You can do the normal difficulty as well. For the Sigma Sector, again, same thing. You don't have to do both the maps. You can do one of them 2 times and you'll get your daily Ancestors modules. You'll get the mysterious coin. You'll get the high value relic. And another good thing with this setup is some of the older builds like Bunny's singular build and Frena's Contagion, they have come back into play and they are really, really good because we spent a lot of time making those builds and working on those builds. And with Bunny especially, I try to get the maximum speed and just run through using the 3rd skill and destroy everything. And so it's been very fun for me recently because I get to play Bunny again, I get to play Contagion Frena again, because in the later action missions, we don't use these builds. So yeah, so I'll just quickly show you the Bunny build. Maybe I'll show the Frena one as well, depending on the time, so that you can get the most out of the build here. So you don't actually need to use trigger modules or ancestors modules, but if you have them, why not make it even stronger? So I'm using the electric condense with Bunny. This is non-crit and this is singular. We are relying on the 3rd skill. So power increase, electric amplification. We are not using focus on electric because we'll balance things better with power increase, and also we don't need that much cooldown on Bunny. We want focus on singular amplification so that we get all the singular skill power modifier. Now recently with the new update, you can actually see the skill power modifier added here. So if you see the lightning emission under damage, our standard number is skill power is 198.7. That has been increased to 358.7. So massive increase. And now it shows the addition there, simplifying the process, I guess. Then we have maximize conservation, strong mentality. This reduces our skill cost significantly. So if you see the electricity cost, it is 266. We are dropping it down to 105, less than half. Then we have MP conversion. This is enough as far as cooldown because we also have cooldown here. You don't need nimble fingers. And we have skill expansion and amplification control to max out the range as much as possible, because Bunny's ring over here is 21 meters. And you can see I'm at 20.6. The remaining we can get from the Inversion Reinforcement. So we want to expand it to 300%. So that will be 21 meters. For the trigger module, you can use Infected Weapon. Now, Infected Weapon, if you see the continuous damage, the 3rd skill does continuous damage. So you want to add more power into this. And you can use infected weapon because we only care about the first part of the infected weapon. Bunny is not using an explosive weapon here. That is for Freyna. So yeah, as long as you get a very high number on your first thing, the damage, 265 to 855, you can see I have 844. That's pretty good. I can use this with the Bunny and do a decent amount of damage with the third skill. For the Ancestors module, again, you want singular power modifier and singular power boost. Those will help you the most. And besides that, you can go with some more fusion power for your fourth skill or your first skill. You can also go with the skill cost reduction, MP, range. If you get a lot of range, you can replace this one. You don't need HP because, again, the missions pre-Axion are not that difficult, and we also have a lot of HP from the external components, so you'll be fine there as well. Okay, so on to the external components. We want 2 pieces of the Ascending Armory, and we want 2 pieces of the Plague set. That is all. And you can use any combination you like because they give you about the same amount of HP. And with all of this, even without an increased HP module, we are looking at 10,000. Make sure to add the HP and defense scores over there. For the reactor, Tingling Singularity Reactor. So I want cooldown and singular skill power boost ratio. You don't really need cooldown because our cooldown is pretty good on our third skill. So instead of cooldown, you can go with electric power if you wanted. You can also go with skill cost reduction, and things like range as well might be decent here. So yeah, so we have plenty of options here. Singular, ideally, and then one other option. For the arcade tuning, once again, we have a very simple setup because, again, this is non-crit. So we take all the skill power, we take the skill cost reduction, we take the MP recovery, we take all the skills in the middle, we take the range, we take the enhanced skill power, we take all the MP, we take the cooldown, and we take the skills, and we take electric chain catalyst. For the inversion reinforcement, I'm taking the spatial dominance just to max out our range, and then we have selective neurostimulation and deploy hardened shell. For the dog, again, you can go with the husky for MP, or you can go with the Hagios sheepdog for the HP. We don't really need ammo, so we don't want the hunting dog. For the weapons, now this is interesting. If you are going to the void vessel, you can have the Voltia beam rifle. So I'll just show you the cores here on the outside and the rows here. This is only for the first void vessel where you have the yellow shields on the enemies, because this will spread to all the enemies with the shield. So one hit and it'll take out all the shields on several enemies. So that is the only reason you want to hold this in hand. Inside build looks like this. It's again a multi-hit type of setup. So yeah, you're not too worried about making a perfect build here. We are just using this to break the shields in the void vessel. And you can use this with Freyna, you can use this with Bunny. Now I'm holding the Nazistra's Devotion in hand, and I've put sprint cores here. Now the thing here is with Bunny, when she's running with the electric condense, when you are activating your skill and you're running, you are at around 1500 speed. When you activate the electric condense, the fourth skill, you go to 1600. So you don't really need to worry about a gun. So if you start running here like this, you will be at 1600 because I have the Nazistra's Devotion in hand. Now this one doesn't have any sprint cores. So if I hold this in hand and I run, this will be at 1500. So you can see 1500. And if I was to press the electric condense now, while the electric condense is active, I'll be at 1600. However, as you saw with the Nazistra, even without using the electric condense, I'm at full speed here. So that is why I use this, because you can have this up and just keep running and just destroying everything. Your third will be up all the time. You'll be running at full speed all the time. So it'll just make it a very easy mission, especially the 400% dungeons. So yeah, so that is the build I've been using for the Descendant mission board, the daily missions. And I've been actually having a lot of fun playing the singular Bunny build again, because this build was the bread and butter for most of us in the early days of the game. We wouldn't have been able to farm so much if we did not have this build and the Contagion Freyna as well. And yeah, these missions are not as difficult as the Axion missions and the endgame missions. So it's fun to use this build again because, as you know, Bunny isn't the most ideal Descendant, especially this non-crit build in the endgame dungeons. So it gives us another reason to not have the super min-maxed builds all the time. We can just relax and play this as well. So yeah, so I'll leave you with a quick run of the 400% dungeons, one of them, and you can see how strong and fun this still is. So it's interesting to mix things up a little bit with the Contagion Freyna and the Electric Condense Bunny every now and then. And yeah, I've been enjoying this quite a lot. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. See you next time.